seen Florida catch a W. They've lost to 2 very good teams. Florida's going to win this series. My desk mates are faded.
All right, Bryce and Ted, fellas, go ahead and take it away.
Man. And what were you feeding Veli at this party that you had? What am I hearing? We can't say one of Paris's good points that Johnny got 4 kills in Search and Destroy once.
I don't know what to make of that. I was thoroughly entertained by the look of disgust on Nameless's face throughout that entire segment. Here's the worst thing about that as well. In my breaking point predictions, I put down it's Paris week. So I just picked them to win.
Look, it's
kind of like the underdogs here, and yet somehow the desk has voted with me. I don't really understand what's going on. So let me reset. Let me try and break this one down into terms that kind of make sense to everybody at home.
Bryce.
Wait, time out.
Bryce, why? I need to just know, like, other than just like Vanguardian Leviosa, why are you guys picking Paris in this series? Bryce,
whoa, don't say you guys. Do not say you guys. Do not put me in this part.
You're not on the Paris train.
Like, I'm not trying to make fun of Paris. I actually just want to know reasons why people would pick Paris in this series.
I'll tell you exactly why. Because I'm English and we love an underdog. That's my entire reasoning.
Take me off the
my entire reasoning. It wasn't a prediction where I go, oh yeah, it's 100% going to win. Every statistic points against Paris losing. They are 2-16 in qualifiers this entire year.
Doesn't it make it exciting? Wait. You got to be honest right now, though. Seeing a team like Paris, and even though they're not giving up in their games all the way, right? You got to admit, one of those big wins is going to come sooner or later. You don't think it's going to happen before the year closes?
Wait. Paris beat them in one statistic, and it is a very specific statistic. They have a better breaking percentage than Florida by 10 points.
Hey.
Look. Here's the thing. I'm not actually on, like, if you had to ask again, hand on heart, I think Florida are the better team currently. Realistically, I put Paris in my predictions earlier because I was just going with the underdog. And you're actually right for this series. The desk, obviously, I feel like we're all just picking Paris. And I'll be honest with you, Vel. Here's the thing. Yes, it would be exciting, but exciting is not a logical prediction. We're only kind of saying it because we want to see Paris upset something in this last bit.
Right.
It's like when they won that game at the major and the whole team come on stage. It was kind of ridiculous and we lent into it.
But Bryce, we're talking about I'm about to go Stephen A on you. We're talking about a Florida team right now that has been playing 3v4 all month. You're putting those chances up against anybody consistently, realistically, though? I'm a Florida enthusiast, but even you can agree this team is nowhere near where they used to be. And I think a team like Paris that's actually hungry for kills, Johnny is trying. Temp is Temp at the end of the day as well. I think that at the end of the day, 4v3 is going to win it all. Even though they have
I only have to disagree. The statistics are completely against Veli. Unfortunately, Paris Legion does not have a good record. Yes, Florida have started off slow into this one. They're currently at 1-2. However, Paris is 0-3. So coming into it, all fun and games aside, I have to be honest with the people who are watching this one. Paris are the underdogs. They are the team that, while we can hype up, there is an opportunity for them to cause an upset. There is a chance for them to really hurt Florida Mutineers' chance at champs. They are still not the favored team.
Yeah, that being said,
absolutely not.
This would be the absolute worst loss of the entire season if Florida Mutineers were to come out here and lose this match. Not only because they're on the bubble, because Paris has seemingly given up. We saw Temp's tweet. He said he didn't even want to play another match at all. That's your leader, your superstar player after they just picked up a new player in Johnny. If Florida come out here and even look weak on that map one, if somehow Paris are able to force it to a game 5, then possibly, right? But when push comes to shove, I believe in the Mutineers. We've seen great things out of them before, especially on land.
But that was a different roster too.
Yeah, it was a totally different roster, but they still have it in them. We'll see.
You're right. All right, well, fellas, hey, the prediction's gonna be up to the players. Take it away.
All right, let's get this game underway. That segment was a little bit chaotic. It was a little bit crazy. And the predictions were kind of all over the point. But to tell you something, predictions don't really matter. Gameplay does matter. Going on to Tuscan Hardpoint, of course, the statistics heavily for Florida. They are looking to lock these points down, and that's probably what we should have been talking about. Florida are currently out of champs. This is 10 points they could desperately do with. And while Paris have the opportunity to redeem themselves, at least in this stage, maybe not for the rest of the year, it's still all got to be about Florida.
It has to be. I mean, the pressure, if I was to somehow fall into the trap of somewhat agreeing with the Paris win condition here is the pressure is not on them whatsoever now. It's not there. Nobody's expecting them to win. Everyone is expecting Florida to come out and win this. They have to win this. Paris do not need to. The pressure is not there. Can that somehow, some way, give them something in this series? I wonder. Florida, the decent little start. Paris do have this rotation over towards P2. Major Maniac. Not necessarily able to do too much there, but the side of Florida, it's a good start. But as mentioned, Paris with a rotation to P2.
Well, you can see they're trying to get into this one as well. That's a huge shout flying out of it in the end, and will be taken down. 12 seconds on the board here for Paris. The rotation to P2 comes through. Keep an eye on Johnny as he has to stem the flow of Florida Mutineers as they come through P5.
Has to do a job here. Oh, we can't win the first one. Sky's now through the front door. Temp is able to potentially butter them up as they're on their way in, but Gravity can't quite win that one. Now in a lot of trouble. Paris do still have control of the spawns. They're making sure they do keep control of them, but Florida just pushing forward. The intensity is there from the Florida side. Surreal now 5-2. Good start from him.
You can see Florida with this break. They're trying to hold off as well. Jimbo, though, gets that first kill. And you should see Paris trying to put a bit of a squeeze on here, but it's not the fastest push actually coming through. And already, Florida have got their reinforcements back. Paris, maybe a little bit lead-footed.
Just feels like there was no challenges for the gunfights. The kills were starting to come in for Florida there. The rotation and spawns is very much what Paris wanted to keep a hold of, but you either need to stick or twist. They sat back. They haven't then won the gunfights on top of that. And that's a very solid lead for the side of Florida Mutineers. Look, I mean, we talked about it towards the beginning of this stage. Could Paris play spoiler? But I just don't feel like they've given me any evidence to show that they can do. And based on that as well, looking at the scoreline at the top of your screen, Florida Mutineers with a good start. Can Paris get a good hold here, though? Jimbo 7-4 will fall. This rotation does belong to Paris. Can they get some good time?
Going for it as well. Look at that spawn. Jimbo going to be here. Looking for it. That's a complete cut down. Florida Mutineers all left hanging in the air. Eventually, Awakening finds one towards it, and Temp takes that opportunity to push out. Gotta be careful not to let anybody slip here. And eventually going to get gunned down by 2 real. Now the pressure comes on Mutineers, trying to get through this one as well. Gravity towards the back is not going to find the kill either. And the Mutineers have found their way in.
Of course. They find the break. Paris now spawning out towards tiles. Mutineers just need to hold it through the front door. Good kill coming in from Jimbo. 10-5 out of him, having a good game. Scoreline doesn't necessarily reflect it so much so far. Rotation is starting to come in though. Mutineers just happy to prioritize that. Paris Legion do get a decent chunk of time, but the Florida Mutineers there with damage limitation. They now have the rotation in. Can they hold this down? Paris pushing from top church. That's a break.
You see now they've managed to get in, and that is a huge wipe coming in from Paris. They've got church control at the moment, and they clean out their lines just a little bit. Florida Mutineers will have to reset and look for this Awakening. Gonna try and put a little bit of pressure. He's looking towards short, gonna hit the back. Waiting for his teammates to come through. It's a slide from Awakening and a big gunfight that's gonna pull Paris in different directions as Awakening stays alive again. Looks for the third, but eventually Johnny shuts him down, and Johnny gets 3 into church.
Fantastically well done. Can he find the 4th here as well? Johnny starting to light it up much better. 5 kills in a row now, and that was a rotation that Mutineers prioritized there. They sent over a lot of players quite early. They found nothing for it. They find themselves behind. Johnny 6 in a row. Another one on the board from him. We'll get him hold of that glide bomb heading over towards P5, but more importantly, we'll be there for the rotation into the second set of hills. But right now, Paris Legion with a healthy lead. Can they do something with it?
Oh, Temp making 1 kill here. It'd be huge if Gravity can make another one, but Jimbo eventually backs him up here. And Paris Legion looking to put the squeeze through. They have the bodies, and they are going to fly into this one. Johnny makes another one. That's a glide bomb coming through. He continues his streak. Stays alive as well. His teammates don't even need to bait him out, but they are a little bit. And still alive. Johnny having a series. We said we got to keep an eye on him for this one. And that's the 8th. Pre-fire coming through. No reinforcements eventually. Oh my goodness. Johnny's still alive.
Oh my God.
He's still alive. That's a 10 streak now. Johnny pulling out every single stop, and eventually his teammate takes him down. But Paris are leading.
Speechless at this stage. Johnny with the 10 in a row, and it eventually actually only went down to one of his teammates. So that will be an 11, but technically not. Jimbo will find the last 2 over towards P5 as well. Disaster so far from Mutineers, who just can't hold onto a hill. Their rotations are coming in. They're looking relatively solid. But Paris are making it so difficult for them. It's just fast and frantic. Mutineers do not have an answer at this moment in time. Good kills coming in over towards P1 though for the side of Mutineers as we head into that second rotation. But bear in mind, Johnny does have a hold of that glide bomb. Will he call it in here? Yes, he will. Florida Mutineers now in a little bit of trouble. The rest of Paris need to stay alive, find themselves in a position where they can do something to retake. Should be able to from here. But where are they?
Where Paris not really able to get in a position to help out with that glide bomb, and eventually Johnny gonna fly through, gets one as well, looks for Awakening. Awakening puts his head down, he's not happy with it, he's gonna have to do it again. Eventually Johnny takes him down, Johnny continuing going forward. Paris break this one back again, and Tuscan Hardpoint is looking like them at the moment, and Johnny having the series of his life. And we're only halfway into the hardpoint.
There's a long way to go. Jimbo, 17-13. The slaying has been there from Paris, and they rightfully deserve their 50-point lead. We start hanging over there. Jimbo won that gunfight that we just left, by the way. Insane plays from him. Rotation over towards P2. Florida Mutineers are all at sea here. They need to lock in very, very quickly. Paris are the ones playing like the team that need the points. Mutineers, we need to see some gunfight wins on these rotations. We need to see something. It's not going well for them.
It certainly isn't, but Paris doing a great job to hold this one off. Let's find out how they are feeling in the comms.
I'm needing it, Donnie.
I got native from mid. Caesar, front church. Caesar's bottom, already by you. Tom, get active.
Take crypt.
Have the back.
The 3 blocks.
Mic front.
One time, got him.
Nice.
On top
Is
of me.
he radio?
Yeah, he's top
Radio
radio.
weak. I only hit him once. He's flying. He's weak on
Oh,
me.
he pushed me. Good shit.
You're good.
Mike is weak time. 1 T. Fine. 1 T church. He's
I'm
holding.
nading
over. Nade over.
You gotta get active.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get out.
Yeah,
guys.
Still top radio. He's coming down
He's running the hill. Awakening.
Awakening,
one stop plat.
Yeah, top flat.
Awakening,
Close
top
T,
flat.
holding T. Close T.
Awakening, one shot. One more nerf.
Close T. TT.
I gotta reload.
One top box. He went down. Down.
They're both one shot. One more radio steps. One's left.
On team. Yeah, help me.
Radio steps.
I did.
Help me.
Radio did one shot.
Yeah, I'm trying to
bullet
go
radio. Ran back to P5.
Yeah, we got radio.
Nothing. No, he's close middle. You middle.
Real P5. P5.
Shit, I'm
coming right with you
guys.
guys. I'm coming right with you guys.
Oh, Paris sounding pretty good in the comms, and they look like they're locked in for this Tuscan hardpoint, but the rotation now matters. P3 and Paris really want to take this game to town.
Right, Mutineers managed to lock in a hill here. I mean, they need to start winning gunfights against Johnny eventually. It's looking like a good amount of time may go over towards them on to P3. So we'll find kills up top. Røkkr not having too bad of a game at 17-18, but needs to match the pace of Johnny and Jimbo, who have been there. Just some bad timing, Johnny. We'll get the kill up top, Røkkr, so that could be the catalyst for Paris breaking through here. It just felt like Mutineers haven't had a solid lock on a hill yet. And we'll get a little bit of scrap time here, though. 20 seconds remaining. They're just about cleaning them out. It's only Johnny left in a position to do anything. Will get dealt with. That scrap time in a good amount of time over towards Mutineers. Honestly, the rotations have not been the problem for them. They just haven't been able to hold anything. Oh my god. Okay.
That's going to be an issue here, but last time around we saw Johnny start off into church incredibly hot, but the Mutineers have brought this one right back towards it. Major Maniac looking for the kills. Eventually Temp comes flying out to help his teammate as well. More kills flying in, but it's still Paris leading this one, and Johnny again shutting down the Mutineers.
Another good couple of moments from Johnny, who's just moving forward and deleting everybody. Skies will find the gunfight though, and all of a sudden maybe Mutineers can find a break, but Paris Legion have broken the 200-point mark. Major Maniac will find a gunfight. They need to start finding some gunfights really quickly, because this is not insurmountable whatsoever for the Florida Mutineers, but Paris Legion could be within 20 by the time we head over towards P5.
Temp again with the pre-fire. He knew Awakening was there at the time, and Major Maniac eventually going to take down Johnny. The rotation's already in though. Gravity is going to be on to next. There's going to be a little bit of a gunfight going down into towards Church. Major Maniac does win it eventually, but Gravity stays alive. Reinforcements are flying in. It's going to be Johnny again. He's here at P5. They've relied on him. He's now 30 and 20, and he's going to fly around and look for Skies. Knows where he is. Takes him down. Of course he does. Johnny having a whale of a time, and Paris are within lethal distance.
Has this man lost a gunfight? Has he lost a gunfight all game long? At 33 and 21. Surely Florida Mutineers can't bring it back. Paris are inside the point. Haven't done it. Mutineers are still in. This is still doable.
Wow, 1 point remains. Temp looking for 2 real. That's where he is, but it's not going to be good enough. Eventually goes down. The 3 chows coming through though. And Awakening has to stay alive.
Oh,
they're back against the wall, and that's a nade. They just have to slide in. They can't make it in time. And Paris take the hard point, and the smile from Temp's face tells the story. A team that has been beaten repeatedly open up against Florida. who need these points so badly. A lot of series left to go, Ton, but that is not a good start for Florida.
No, that is not the way you want to start it at all. And honestly, as I said, so many occasions, and I'd love it if we could maybe get the stats on it here, but the rotation was in for Mutineers. We barely seen any good time brought. It felt like they were getting 15, 20 seconds here or there. It never felt like any of these rotations amounted to anything. And of course, when you got Johnny going 26 non-trader kills, Jimbo alongside him with 20 of his own, that is something that is difficult to deal with. Some of our keys to victory, Bryce, would need more from your SMGs. You absolutely got that there in map number 1.
Yeah, Johnny was just kind of different, and I don't really know how to quantify it because it was kind of ridiculous. He was just winning every single gunfight, and he went on streaks. He got glide bombs, went on streaks again. 2 pieces flying out for him. And you got to bear in mind, here he's 8-9. He was actually not in a great place. He was 3-9 before he started this streak. And I think he ended up, what, 36-22 or something ridiculous like that. It was a heat-up of all heat-ups just before the halfway mark, and it made such a ridiculous difference. From then, Florida Mutineers could not catch up.
I just felt like the Mutineers just couldn't get a trade when it was coming down to the SMGs at all. Johnny was there every single time, finding 2 or 3 on his own without any answer. And that's going to be an issue for Mutineers. You need to make sure you are finding these trades. Whereas Legion taking a win. Oh, man. No, Veli and Ali are going to be very smug if they win this series, by the way. I don't think I can deal with it.
I'm not really worried about it. I was the only one to put down the pick'em, so I can't really say an awful lot. But coming in here is Johnny, a 1.64 and 11 streak, a difference maker on the Tuscan hardpoint. We said we want to see more from him, and we certainly have that game. Can he continue? Can he be the player that Paris need to get these points in the bag today? Obviously, for them, their champs run is done, but there's still a major to play for. There is still redemption potential.
There is, but that is absolutely not the way you want to start it. You're coming in and you know that the majority of teams are going to be Paris. I mean, it's just a fact. Yes, okay, we've talked about it time and time again that, yes, okay, they could play spoiler. We heard good things about their scrims towards the beginning of the stage, etc., etc. We had some hope, but up until now, it has not looked likely. But if Mutineers are the team to lose, I mean, it is chalked completely. If they go on to lose this series, I see no way, not necessarily statistically and mathematically, that they make champs. Just how do you regain from that? How do you regain? If it's not a complete free win, but you know, you're heading into this and everybody on that Florida Mutineers, the staff, the players, everybody be saying, right, this is a game we absolutely must win. It's a game we should win. If you go on to lose this game, and you can see in their face that, yeah, full might have been lost already, to be honest with you.
But that's the pressure, Ton. Like, just the unrelenting pressure. They know that their champs run, it's basically hanging by a thread. This is points that a lot of people have put them in the bag already. And don't underestimate how much pressure is truly on them. Because obviously there is still opportunities. They can get the points, they can go to the major, they can do a good job. But every time they lose, here is a step further. They have to get in the major, a step further into more and more difficult competition. They do not want to be in the worst possible scenario. And while only one hard point is gone, you have to reiterate this. This is not only a bubble team, this is the lowest bubble team, right? This is the team at the very, very bottom. Other than New York, this is the team that we thought might be able to make it out. But if they don't beat Paris, and they've got another game coming this week as well, I think, it's not a good scenario. On the other side of it, and I want to be positive about this, Paris look like they're in very, very good spirits. It's nice to see a Paris roster with smiles on their faces. It has not been a fun season for them.
It hasn't been. And honestly, it might just give some of them something positive. Heading into, you know, the major, let's see if they can maybe start bringing a different kind of level. But yeah, as we talked about, rock bottom when it does come down to those CDL points. Paris need to continue this year. Belly Search and Destroy 3 and 9 of the record of course their last 12. Florida Mutineers 6 and 7. Offensive win percentage though for Paris has not been there, but the First Bloods have.
Well, let's see how this converts. Because the This game really just got very, very interesting. Florida need to make the comeback into this one. And all jokes aside, all that segment before, everything you heard, it's all fun and games until it gets real. And already, we can see the push coming through. It's looking like Mutineers are going straight for B. This probably will be a fast plant.
Heading straight for it. CDL found a route through. Bomb will be going down. Paris could do with that first blood just to answer back. This is aggression from Florida Mutineers. Who is what? How is Johnny able to push out there? If I'm too real, I'm asking how I'm dead. Either way, Bomb is down 4v3.
They have the life of one being down, looking for as well. Gravity gets the second one. Major Maniac going on Overwatch. They're going to have to find him in the next 20 seconds. Haven't found him quite yet. Tem gets the last one. It's just Major Maniac in a 1 versus 4. Finds the first, finds the second as well. And Major runs for his life. He's going to go all the way around to try and get this angle. I love this play. He may have outplayed Paris by himself for the 1 versus 4. The pre-aim comes in. They don't know where he is. And he's gone for it. The fusion's coming in. Jimbo. Has Major Maniac not made this happen as Jimbo wins it? And seconds away. And Paris Legion clutch up. And they're smiling, but I would be worried.
Right. I'm just gonna have a minute. First of all, the attacking push from Mutineers there was fantastic. I'd love to see it. The aggression comes through. But then Johnny found that first blood. Question mark immediately. Major Maniac left on his own. Paris are like, right, okay, we're cruising, that's fine. Does the hard work, and then pre-sprays it when there's still like 10 seconds. Just literally wait 1 or 2 more seconds and you've won the round.
Yeah, I think he was just like being careful. He obviously thought somebody was going to be there, but there's first blood for Paris. Last round forgotten, this round already active. Bomb is going down for Jimbo. This guy's going to be towards the back of the B bomb site, but Paris have stacked this. They have bodies everywhere. Where are Florida going to find the break?
Can they find a route back in? Weakening could he be the catalyst? Gravity finds one. Inside the point is Jimbo. Johnny finds one on the flank, and all of a sudden 2 real left on his own. Temp finds him. This is convincing from Paris.
Yeah, really good push, and then that first blood opened things up for him. It's been the first bloods that have made a difference so far in this S&D. Playing with some confidence at the moment, Paris. Long way to go, though, before this series is ended and this map. You can see again what they do here, obviously. They'll be on the defense once again, and Florida have the opportunity to be proactive in the way they attack it.
Yeah, it's looking like an A hit going to start coming up through. First bloods from Paris are being converted. That's what's helped them. Jimbo looking for one on the outside. A little bit of company. Nice shots. CDL gets dealt with. Jimbo with the shots there. And once again, it's another first blood. It's very loud.
Now advantage to Florida. Major. A little bit of movement there. Could have taken down Temp, and he has to back off and find a different angle. That nade's about to come in. Major's going to try it. Eventually does hit him. Temp super weak, and he tries to find Major Maniac, but he has to get out of there. On the other side of it, Gravity is going to try and get a little bit of a view here onto this one, and he is going to be taken down by Temp.
How on earth has that happened? Paris put themselves in a bad spot there after an opening first blood puts them in a sensational one. And then the over challenges start to come through. Irrelevant of that, though, we found ourselves now in a 2 versus 2. That bomb will be picked up. That bomb will be going down. Notification would have been there for the side of Paris. Makes things a little bit more difficult, but a 1 versus 2 now for Awakening. The bomb is down. First gunfight's crucial.
Flies straight out of it. Finds Temp. Temp staying alive. Temp wins the gunfight. Paris go up 3-0. Gravity and Temp combining in teamwork to make that one happen. They've clutched up, and they're up 3-0.
My goodness. Look at the smile on Donnie Temp's face. You know, and the thing is, for them, I said the pressure's not there for the win. I mean, look, of course, the organization would absolutely love to see them go on and win some games. That's what they want. They want the Paris Legion brand to do well. But the pressure is not that this win means nothing to them statistically or moving forward. Maybe some form heading into champs. But if they can keep this up, this place spoiler to the Florida Mutineers, it's something we talked about that had potential based on what we've seen so far from Paris. I thought there was no potential. But here we are. 3-0 up in the search and destroy. 1-0 up in the series. Johnny looking for that first blood. Will surely find on a Major Maniac. 4 versus 3. Another first blood for Paris.
Johnny's gone. Johnny's already way past fire. They're looking for him. You can see on the minimap, Florida are aware he may have slipped the net. Jimbo just being extra careful before he plants this one down. Skies creeping slowly but surely, finds gravity and brings it back to a 3 versus 3. Bomb down for Paris.
Look at the overextension. Johnny's still there. Awakening looking to try and find him, and he just lingers a little bit too long now. This should be an opportunity, a huge one for the side of Mutineers. Did Awakening see Jimbo? He did not. 1 versus 2.
Let's go back in. Time ticking down. They're looking for him desperately.
Gotta go together.
Nice to real. Goes straight out with it as well. Alive. Has to play his life. Sky's gonna go for him, but Skies gets him with a pistol. The clutch is not to be. And Mutineers desperately get one back on the board.
It wasn't pretty, but I don't think they will mind one little bit. Skies finds the final kill. As mentioned, Jimbo just a little bit weak there, but you know, Johnny finds himself in a really good spot over towards fire, but I think they just overpeak it ever so slightly, do Paris. Not a great deal that they can do once they lose those couple of gunfights, though. Jimbo makes it interesting, but Mutineers eventually find themselves on the board. That was essential. That closed out that 3v1. You got 4-0 down off the back of a 1 versus 3. Don't know what to tell you.
Let's see. Can Florida get another one on the board and bring this right back into contention? Johnny's going to be there as well. And he's weak. He's trying to get through him. He's going to try and get out. It's not going to work. Nobody looking over, and Florida Mutineers have that first blood in the pocket ton.
Something that they haven't found throughout, I believe, at least one of the 4 that they have played so far. Temp now looking to try and find one back of his own. Has help from Gravity. They get control of the site. Wiccan is still in here. Finds the first, and he's going to find it on a Temp as well. Well picked. I don't even know if he knew Temp was there. Wiccan goes to the challenge. Jimbo goes to challenge back. 2v3. Or 1 versus 3, I should say.
Yeah, Florida just going to play with him here a little bit and eventually take him down. Just didn't have anywhere to go. And Florida Mutineers getting another one back on the board off the back of that first blood. Johnny was a little bit aggressive, and Awakening just had that pre-aim locked in.
Mutineers bringing this one back. First bloods are crucial for them. Paris are very much feeding off those when they do get a hold of them. But they're clawing their way back into this game. Slowly but surely. Paris still 3-2 to the good, but it's a 4 spree for Awakening, 3 spree for Skies. A lot of bodies over towards the A side here. Looks like that's where Paris are posturing as well.
They've got one player playing that hook position, as like they call it, Gravity, sitting on the way, trying to catch anybody going for a huge flank. But Paris, slowly but surely, making their way here to the site. Got a ton of control for them through Ticket. Player waiting, ready for whoever pops through. Neat, trying to break through this window. Slowly but surely, it's a very slow entry to the site. And he's been caught. Terrell finds one. He's looking for Johnny, and he finds the second. That was not a good push in the end, and Gravity's left alive in a 1 versus 4, and down he goes.
Maybe the worst thing I've seen this year. Maybe. It was painful viewing. Nonetheless, Johnny, we know those boards on the windows are a little bit difficult at times, but 2 real plays this one very, very nicely. Reads it as soon as the noise cues are there from Johnny. Goes to peek, and he has Temp alongside of him. Those smiles that were on Paris Legion's faces have faded somewhat. 3-3 now.
Huge comeback from Florida. And it looks like they're going for a B push once again. Paris Legion not committing an awful lot of players for this one. Keep an eye on Skies, though. He's going to be watching that P5 cross, but he has just given it up. Temp is getting fire. And this bomb is going down. It's a good position here now for Florida.
Paris maybe don't have an answer here. They need to find the first blood crucially. People this one Mutineers inside the point. This is a decent setup from them. First blood there.
Nice.
Yeah, that's big.
Maniac backtracking, but they've figured it out this time. There's going to be players left on the site. Awakening gets one. TJHaly gets another. Now they have to try and attack him, but they've got no real time here. TJHaly's just going to play with him. And eventually, he flies around towards the back here. Johnny finds TJHaly. Awakening finds one more, and Gravity, he's just not going to find him in time, surely. It doesn't matter. Eventually wins the gunfight, but the time is gone. Florida, the Mutineers get that one onto the board.
And that was a 2 versus 4 from inside the site as well. Paris do the hard work in clearing out the dock side. As soon as that happens, though, they've got to get control of the site. They do not have the time because they had to take their time around the outside. Well played, though. In the end from Mutineers, locking that one in. Just wasted that time. So many times that you've seen, specifically towards the end, the player behind the bomb site was peeking it back and forth. Doesn't need to take a gunfight. The longer you stay alive, the harder it is for Paris to come back. 4-3 now. 4 rounds off the trot.
Again, aggressive from Paris. They're looking for the players here. Awakening going to be on the bomb. A lot of trouble coming through. TJHaly's going to be in there as well. TJHaly finds it. TJHaly finds a second. And now Paris are reeling. No bomb. No numbers. No map control. And not a lot of hope.
Not a lot they can do here, Paris. 7-4 from Gravity. You can maybe find a pick. You can possibly get something going. You got Temp alongside you as well. Gives away his position on it. Not a clean shot on Major Maniac, so that makes things maybe a little bit more difficult. Florida Mutineers surely just going to back up. Paris looking for a pick, but you don't necessarily have the time to do so here.
Well, they're just playing around it. They're stacking the site. They know Paris have to come towards them. Gravity going all the way through. I'm hoping to find somebody who he thinks might rotate, but unfortunately, Florida aren't going to do that. They know the position they have to play.
Paris
no time.
Yeah, they haven't been given anything here. Mutineers, as soon as they knew that bomb was down, they have not offered Paris a single thing. Benjamin will find the kill onto Gravity. Temp will find one back, but just no time on his side. For the kills, not going to happen. Mutineers, 5 rounds in a row now. Paris looked good until they didn't. Florida Mutineers seem to just have finally awakened in this game. And to be honest, I think it's just the lack of first bloods that are now coming from Paris. Mutineers maybe playing a little bit more careful. It's working out for them.
And this is the turnaround they needed. Paris looking a lot more focused. It's all smiles, all fun and games. The reality has come home to roost. Lays over the top. They're looking for another B push. It's worked out for them a couple of times, and actually having to back off here. The Nates catch him. TJHaly has been seen. There's a chow coming through. They eventually find him. Now Johnny's alone. His teammates are all the way by A-ton.
Oh, it has fallen apart for the Paris Legion, hasn't it? 2 versus 4 now needed to stay in the session to throw a good shot from Johnny, but it might not be enough now. Jimbo, 1v3.
And Jimbo's going to try and make his way across and looks at the player. We'll check the close corner. Does eventually win that gunfight, but now essentially you have to defuse and you know where the other players are going to be. It's how this always runs. So he has to go and find them, and they are going to play with him. Make no mistake here. They get the opportunity, they'll gun him down. If not, they can play all the time they want. Doesn't matter. Eventually he goes down. Florida Mutineers, a bad first 3, a great next 6. They bring this series back to 1-1.
Much better from the Mutineers, as mentioned, when they stopped giving away those first bloods. It was honestly sloppy play in those first few rounds that led to it. On top of some good play from Paris, but then as soon as Mutineers cut out those mistakes, they are able to tie it up pretty easily. 1-1 now. The series is long from over. The Paris party has not quite begun yet. Still another 3 maps to go, though, and if they could keep their respawn form up, then maybe something can be going here, but that Search and Destroy performance was very much a game of 2 halves. 3-0 up, 6-3 you lose. Not the best way to do it.
It really wasn't, and maybe a little bit of overconfidence or just not really clicking as much as they could have done, but Mutineers desperately get one back on the board and continue moving forward into the control. It's made this game feel a little bit more realistic, Ton.
Yeah, it feels a bit more like on level par where we thought it may well be, but honestly, I think it's the nature of the performance on map number 1 that maybe gives people hope for Paris. Yeah, that Search and Destroy I said it. Those first 3 rounds are really good, but as soon as you stopped finding those first bloods, you stopped converting rounds from nothing, of course. Let's see. Heading into a control, it is still going to be difficult for them to find something from this series, but Florida Mutineers will be buoyed by that one. They needed some signs of life in that search and destroy. They showed it. Should have confidence heading into map number 3.
Yeah, they certainly will. And map number 3 is where we head to next. Paris, a little bit of pride on the line for them. They take the first hard point, but the Mutineers need the points, and they fight back in the search and destroy. This is certainly a series that is still wide open. Control next. Don't go there. We'll see you right after this.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew and Zenny. Armor your eyes with Blocks gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenny.com/CDL.
I use a PS4 Scuff Infinity. I use Scuff Concave Sticks, and like, I don't know, that's just what I've been using recently, so I like it a lot. On the back, you can see I only have one paddle, because the way I hold it like this. So like, I use the left paddle for X, like to jump, and I play like half claw. Triggers and bumpers, I have it like the digital tap.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CDL, and if you want to find the rest of that video, you can on Scuff's YouTube. And if you want to check out any pro player settings, you can do through the AimLab website. You can find it all here on your screen. That's the URL you need to go to, callofdutyleague.com, NUS player settings. Go have a look, see if they suit you as well. And I could certainly do with being a little bit better on the sticks. But speaking of good on the sticks, these two teams are trying to prove it ton. Paris Legion and the Florida Mutineers. Still an awful lot of series to go.
Yeah, a long way to go, and it was a really good turnaround there from the side of Mutineers, and it's a time when they absolutely needed it. A very, very lackluster performance in map number 1, and then you find yourself 3-0 down in Search and Destroy, a must-win game. You then bring it back 6 rounds in a row. You're now heading into a Tuscan control. Looking to get control of the series once more here, though, Bryce. I think that's what they need to do. Try and lock something in here. Defensive win percentage is definitely there. Not horrible offensive win percentage for Florida either. Back over towards the defensive win percentage from Paris, which is not good. So Florida have it in their locker here. 80 so far, nobody over a 1 on the other side. I'd imagine we'll still have somebody up there. Yes, we will. A 1.43 from Johnny off the back of that map number 1 performance. He's going to need to bring similar levels here, map number 3, if Paris wants to retake this league.
Well, let's find out how they're feeling up for that little bit of a break. And Jimbo comes straight out with the first blood there onto this control. Obviously, first blood not quite as important on this game mode, but it's always nice to get that first kill in and get warm, but we'll be taken straight back down by 2 real, and that took a couple of more bullets than I thought it would.
You get excited over the first bloods there, Bressy. Did you forget we were playing Control? Or was that...
I just like COD. I'm just a big COD fan.
Oh yeah, okay, right. Here we are. Moving into the Control. And, I mean, it's a good aggressive start from the Mutineers here, and tempting themselves with a push over towards B. Good shots from Major Maniac. Johnny walks through the door, gets deleted. Paris will be able to retake over towards A, though. Tempin, Jumbo performing well here. Now going to be able to move forward. A little bit of map control for the side of Paris.
Yeah, a bit of a turnaround as well. They're completely shutting down Florida. I'm surprised Florida didn't try and get that second tick on away. Obviously, just helps out if you have to kind of fall back onto it. And realistically, Mutineers now have to try and figure this one out. Where are we applying the pressure? Where are we going? Is it back to normal? And with 2 kills down, they can basically go wherever they feel like.
The thing is, for the Mutineers there, they've done a really good job of doing so, but when you find yourself in that position, you're just giving them a lot of time, because you have to find these players who are inevitably pushed up from Paris. They did so. They found a route through, but only momentarily. Concentrate a lot of their efforts over towards B here at the Florida Mutineers. Not a lot going on over towards A. There's a gunfight that's going to go Paris's way, so Jimbo is over there, slowing things down. Mutineers aren't going to get anything out of this over towards B. And I kind of... I never feel great about a 2-man B push. I think it has, a lot of things have to go right for you for that to be fruitful, if anything, for it to be effective. In that case, it wasn't for the Mutineers. They've now regressed back over towards A, but on the back foot a little bit with this push over towards B.
Yeah, this is just kind of making sure they get A as well. And sometimes it can work. Essentially, what they're looking for was a tick, and they didn't get it. And now they've got a long road to go. Paris do have the lives. They're holding church pretty aggressively here, actually. Paris, they're not really rotated through, and they're going to be found out for it, but Trey's coming through eventually. Jimbo gets 2, only 1 player left alive here, and it's going to be Big Wake. He's going to be staying alive, but he needs to wait for his teammates. Time will be burning.
Staying alive. There needs to be a decent push here from the side of Florida. They don't really have too much time. I like the setup from Paris, though. Very aggressive. The grenade catches out 1. Temp will catch out the other. Awakening and Major Maniac now dead. They may well have 1 more push in them. But look how much map control Paris have here. Look where Temp is. Already pushed up. Johnny ready and waiting. Over towards Radio. It's a hard push for Florida to find anything here. Bit of bad timing.
That timing was terrible.
Get Temp from behind as well.
Oh, this is it. Look at the setup coming through. Florida should be raining nades onto this one to try and make a bit of a break. How about it? Jimbo's going to find the first and the second. And Terrell goes for the third. It was one of the worst chows I've seen. Just sort of ran around and hoped for it after 2 other players did the exact same thing. Sky's silver lining towards the back of the map. And can Florida find this? Going to hit ramp about as fast as they can do to try and get into this point and find anything from this round. And it's not going to be any good.
Yeah, not going to work out there. And yeah, I think that final challenge come through is kind of hit it and hope vibes coming out from Too Real in that one. But good hold from Paris. Very nicely done. Temp was pushed up quite far. And when they did lose those gunfights in map and had everybody on the back foot ready and waiting, they did not lose their head, really. Good play there from Jimbo. 3 in a row, albeit the third was very much on a plate for him. Heading over towards here now for the Paris Legion. Can they open up with an attack here to put themselves back in control of this series? Mutineers need this round.
Going for the hold here, and you can see Too Real going to try and make a little bit of pressure through P5. Players coming through mid as well. Going to be Major Maniac, goes for the challenge. Not going to work out. Very few kills actually flying through. Temp actually has opened up towards P5. He might try and put a bit of pressure on here. This is not really about getting on the point. It's about farming kills off the respawn. You can see Florida and looking for him. No reinforcements for Temp, so he has to backpedal.
He's maybe opened up a little bit of a door here for Johnny. Can't quite get through. Temp's surviving. I think him just staying alive here. A little bit of pressure coming in over towards the back for the Paris Legion. A lot more time for them than the Mutineers managed to have. And look at those kills. That might make a difference. 28 to now 23. Could be another one here as Awakening Major Maniac maybe on a plate. Gonna find the second. Important that he did so. Gravity surviving towards the back and has done so well. Rest of his team nowhere to be seen, but Gravity with a little bit of pressure here. 6 spree, Bricey.
There's going to be a double chow coming through onto Gravity here. You can see they're sacking for it. Awakening jumps straight back out of it. The nade eventually does take him down. Florida doing a good job of actually keeping Paris off of kilter. They have not been able to get a stacked here ton, and they need to start trying to make a little bit of control, or at least jump on this site.
5 on there. The side of Gravity, though. So keep an eye on that. That could be important. One of those attacking rounds that Paris Legion need to find. 3 men over towards Church. Jim will get dealt with on this side of the map, so it's going to be everybody towards the back now. Johnny and Co. Going to try and get rid of Too Real, who's doing his best and doing a good job at surviving. Awakening there with the Overwatch as well. Shots coming in. Good job from the Mutineers. Dug those trenches, and they are not allowing Paris Legion to break the line here.
Yeah, certainly are not. They cannot find a way through here, Paris. And this is what I mean. Like, at the moment, Florida Mutineers just have an awful lot of control of this map, and Paris aren't really in a good position for trades. This is more about hero plays than anything else. And speaking of which, Johnny finds first. Jumps straight into the site to stop it for just a few seconds. It does mean Florida have to react to him, but where are the rest of Paris?
Trying to figure something out towards the back there. Jimbo finds a kill, but doesn't really result in anything. Temp now hitting the back, and a lot of solo players towards the spawns of Florida Mutineers to try and find a break that way, but they need to be coordinated with the rest of the team pushing through the front. Oh, that is a hellish grenade from Temp. Jimbo's combining at the same time, and all of a sudden...
2 players on it. It's coming through. It's not a full stack because of the grenades. Temp holding towards the back here.
That's a huge kill.
Down. They know the player's got to be coming through radio shortly. Here goes the second tick. The third is furiously coming through, and Paris are 10 seconds away. They've got it. That's this complete fail there by Florida. They break and they never regain. Paris Legion go up 2-0 in the control ton.
They didn't even need to invest the glide bomb that they have in the back pocket. That is absolutely huge for the side of Paris. And everything just kind of fell into place at the same time. It was 3 kills came up in the kill feed like that. And as soon as that happens, it's panic stations for Florida. And all of a sudden, Paris Legions just continue to win gunfights. 16-6 out of Gravity. He's having a hell of a game here. Jimbo 17-7 as well.
Oh, Slaying is paying the bills, and they just need to hold this defense. Unfortunately, already going to lose the first couple of kills. Temp's going to be up top. Finds Awakening, just rips those brows right off. Florida need to up the pace.
Now, I don't need to obviously speak in the obvious here, but of course Florida do need this round to get it back into it, but then that would put them back on a defense, which would then potentially send us to round number 5. So if Florida can win this round, they still have the potential to win this map. But of course it is Paris very much in the driving seat here. Still trying to keep a hold of something over towards A. Johnny and Co. Shots coming in, trying to slow it down. Gravity is going to be able to find the second kill with the help of Jimbo, who comes in with the last couple of bullets. So Paris do not lose A. And plenty of map control over towards this side as well, but Sky's behind them, could be a problem.
The one thing you've got to be careful here is obviously they haven't done it, but if Florida had overcommitted towards B and got something going, it could have been bad for Paris, but they are doing a job, and they are doing it by just slaying continuously. And Johnny gets one, looks for Major Maniac, he's stunned, doesn't really matter. The players are coming through as well. Temps hit the spawn, and they are just causing all kinds of issues now for Florida. Can't even get towards A-Ton.
And this is fantastic from Temp. He's backing off, even if they lose it here, it's not a big deal. They are slowing things down. Mutineers are struggling to break here. If you can hold on to it, fantastic. They may well be able to here. Wickman is able to answer with a kill onto Johnny. Now Jimbo transitioning over, has Gravity with him. Just feels like the Florida Mutineers are going one by one here, Bryce. It feels like they've lost their heads.
Paris playing with some confidence, but this is the truth. Johnny has to hold this. He's the only player here from Paris, and he gets both of them. And Gravity says, hey, Skies, I see you managed to make your way through there, bud. I'm going to call in the reinforcements, but it doesn't work out for it. Florida's still here in numbers. Got to be careful. Slowly but surely, that's going up onto it. Chow coming through eventually. Paris.
I see.
They have to be a bit careful. Paris is still committing over towards A. Paris? Looks like they're getting in position for this, and they are going to just manage to pull themselves out of the fire. Was a little bit worried, Ton.
I was a little bit worried as well. Temp though, can lock in the kill over towards B. He's not even going to get locked in there. It was looking like it was going to, but look at the lives as well, Bryce. This one's done. Paris are going to have the lead back surely.
Oh, 8.9 seconds remaining, and that will be ticked over to 1.8.
It's the 4 lives. It's the 3 lives.
Is there anything here for Florida? Is there anything? And Jimbo flies out towards the middle, goes down towards the back. Major Maniac, 2 versus 9. Maybe get a 9 versus 1, and down they go. And Paris Legion take the control 3-0. Pretty dominant performance, and the smiles are back, baby.
First time we've seen the smile since about the 4th round of Search and Destroy. Florida Mutineers, dire straits. Again, it's a game you come into against a team who have only managed 20 points across the CDL season. It matters not at this moment in time, though. You need to switch on. You need your game to be better. 2 real 12 and 23. 13 and 27 out of Awakening, a player who we know can do so much better. Let's talk about the positives of Paris Legion there. For me, when they found kills, they pushed forward. They didn't just sit, they didn't rest on it. They pushed forward at every single opportunity. Glide Bomb's going to help yourselves on the way, but that attacking round is what makes the difference there. Florida Mutineers 3-0. They lose the control. We head into a map number 4 of an absolute must-win series, and they find themselves 2-1 down.
They do, and Paris just looked confident on the map. And
yep,
yeah, a couple of times I thought they might have been a bit slow. There was a little bit of shakiness there towards that end of that last round, Ton, when obviously they kind of overcommitted towards 8. But Florida Mutineers weren't able to get it done. It did look night and day between them. Paris Legion are up 2-1 on this, and we head into the next hard point. Florida Mutineers just unable to get anything going.
Yeah, nothing at all. It just feels so lackluster. I will say though, I mean, they looked pretty good on that defense for the most part, and then it was just one big play from Paris that broke them open, and I think their spirits probably would have been broken by that stage, but they never looked likely on their attacks. And I mean, you don't necessarily need to win an attack to win a control, but it definitely helps you on your way. But yeah, the killer moments losing that attack in the way that you have done. You're 2-0 down. You're then going on to attack yourselves. It's always so tough. But Paris Legion, got to give them props. Fantastic game from them. 3-0, 2-1 up in the series. Hey, I don't know, maybe Ali and Veli have cheered them on here. Maybe just some positivity in the Paris camp is all that needed.
Yeah, and like I said before, obviously it felt a little bit hypocritical, right? Because I put them in the pick, and because I fully kind of buy into the storyline and the excitement, right? Like, essentially, yeah, if Paris do this will be a pretty significant result for Florida. Actually, not for Paris, but for Florida, because they won't get these 10 points that they so desperately need. But like I said before, I think the stats are somewhere along these lines. I think Paris have only won 2 series online the entire kind of online qualifiers, all 4 splits, and they've lost like 16 of them. If they win this, obviously it'll be their 3rd And what a time to do it against a team like Florida, who are scraping for every point they can get before they head into the major.
And these are the kind of points that Florida absolutely need. You need everything to help you down the line. Look, I mean, Florida could, not based off this, but Florida could turn up to the event in New York next weekend and go on to win it, and that would obviously make them safe. But you want to make it as easy as possible. Take as much pressure off yourself as you can heading into that major. When it turns, like a loss here could make the difference between a placement or two at the major. If you'd won here, you could have been good for champs. Like that's how close it can be. Every single win counts. And because you want to put yourself in a better position to then obviously crack on at the major. Look at where they are. If Guerrillas and Thieves can crack on, Mutineers, Subliners have continued their ascendancy as well. Subliners will be delighted with this.
Well, the thing is, you're not just fighting one team. You're fighting so many teams for these points. Anybody could have a really good major. Like Røkkr could go and win their points today. They could have a good point in the major. They go up. Obviously, then Florida have to do very well as well. New York are trying to get through. So any team in the bubble is basically hoping every other team loses every single game they are going to be in. So you've got, like, if you're a Subliners fan or a Røkkr fan, Guerrillas, Thieves, Ultra, you're all hoping Florida lose this.
Yeah, I'm getting lots of tweets about, you know, Vivid not being in the roster. It's made it such a huge difference, but I don't think you can ever like discount the fact that the Paris has said that their record, speaks for itself. It's hard to ever pick them. I think it's really difficult to ever go logically and sort of say this is absolutely should be a Paris win. I think at the same time though, they've definitely performed so much better than what we have seen so far. Johnny's had a standout performance. Everybody has really been at the races when they've needed to, and Florida Mutineers have come into this flat. Two of their highest performers have not been there. Awakening Skies, they needed people to help them along. They needed somebody to spread the love of what they were doing for this team, and that has not happened.
Well, the pressure increases onto Florida. They made a roster change that some people did not agree with, and I'll reserve my opinions until we find out what happens. But I'll talk around Vivid and 2Real and Major Maniac and whether or not it was a good move at the time. The facts are this: 10 points up for grabs in this game, and they are 2 maps away from it and 1 map from losing it. They are currently sitting in 10th position in our standings, and this team has nothing to lose against them. Paris Legion, not a great record for them, but none of it matters. They are not going to champs, but they can stop other teams. And that's why the smiles on the face. Tem put out a video. He says, we're ready. We're ready to play spoiler. And 1 more map will do it.
What a way they've done it in their 2 map wins as well. It was very comfortable map number 1. Extremely dominant in the end. And map number 3. Map number 2 they'll look at as well. They were 3-0 up. This is one that they could have had signed, sealed, and delivered at this stage. But now we move into map number 4. Can they lock it in? I need to see more out of the SMGs on the side of Florida when it comes down to this, as well as the ARs, of course, and Berlin Hardpoint with Gravity is having a series of 1.47 KD. He is fine. Absolutely fine for the team. If he can bring that level here on Berlin, that's an improvement.
Johnny, be good. And they are being good. If you are joining us on this stream here, we are on the cusp of what could be an upset, but not just an upset, an absolute dagger into the heart of Florida's run for champs. Paris in the P1 already. Famously, this has been a hill they've done very well on and been where the majority of their points come through already. Getting that first blood against 2Real. And Paris Legion set to lock into this one. 10 flying out as well. Jimbo gets a kill at the same time, but Awakening is playing his heart out. He needs to be big weight today. Gets 3 and they break in.
Yeah, they absolutely needed that really good break coming on through. I know it's early, but a good start to the map. It's crucial here for Florida. Dire Straits, as said, they absolutely need to win this game. They are down against one of the worst teams in CDL history. Can they find something here now, Florida Mutineers?
Holding this P1, but it's not really about the P1 anymore. It's going to be about P2. Paris have a player over there, but it's going to be a bit of a heartbreak from the rest of them. Keep an eye on to Johnny. Instrumental in this series so far. Finds a first blood over there at the same time. The rest of the Paris team swing into action. Tem finds a second, and Florida are crumbling. They had the rotation. Can they hold on to it? No! They've been killed.
SMG's combining well, but Awakening will come back and find it. Right, players around here for the side of the Mutineers. Gravity, though, through the front door. Awakening searching for him, knows exactly where he is. Awakening's having a good game of things here, my goodness me. Finds the fourth.
Big Wake ain't having it. He ain't having it. He refuses to dip out of this game. He's already 7-3 and we're going to P2. Florida still have control of it off the back of him. Rotation is in for Paris, though.
Not the end of the world for Paris, that. Fought well for it, but Mutineers get a good chunk of time. A lot of this is on Jimbo. If he could slow things down, 1 or 2 kills would be great. He finds absolutely nothing. The road is now wide open. If you're Paris, where's the spawn's going to come in? Of course, they are out, so Mutineers got a good chance here.
Well, they're not going to win the gunfights. Two-Real last one alive, and that's a full wipe. It's a full wipe. Paris can now push out. They can now set up. It's a very hard pick for Florida. I'll tell you something. I think it's time to jump in the comms and see how these teams are feeling.
They're spawning out. They're spawning out.
Go fast.
Go fast.
Back. Close front door. Get
him.
Dead.
I fire. Look
your front.
I fire.
I heard it.
Fire. Dead.
I'm taking her out.
That was not Hydra. He's not challenging. It's Tom.
I'm trusting out that. You have him?
4.
Go.
I'm not looking for secret.
I hear you.
Looking for Donnie. Donnie's on the rotation.
Secret absolute.
You want mid?
No, he's backing up. Looking at
Hey,
it.
yo, go deep.
One's on me, Owen. I'm good.
Top tower.
Yo, Jimbo's laying down like Jimbo might be close on you. He was laying down like.
He goes right side.
Jimbo's one shot train. Back trains.
Keep going left. Keep going left.
Okay, Jimbo's chain.
P5 done.
He's secret. He's going clutch.
I'm gonna hit this guy secret out.
Jimbo's right. I'm going right.
Jimbo's back where else? He's on left. He's on the truck. Like lower else.
Lower house.
One's on me, glass.
Top of the left side tower, guys.
I'm coming sidewalk.
White peeking right there. Nate Hill.
Spawn AR,
He's front tower, yeah, but...
He might go back left.
One's top P5, he's not peeking.
P5's not chilling.
I name in Hill.
One's got Eddie.
I'm doing lane down shit.
One's got Eddie, one's
got Eddie.
Name got Eddie.
Hill's balance steps now.
Find the stairs.
Sidewalk,
P5,
Jimbo.
I
kill sidewalk.
P5 dead.
Front left.
I'm chilling. One more time, telling.
Nice.
Gravity weak on the rails of time. Rails dead. Good fucking shit. Lay down. I can't have your solid. I have your
Front. My bad.
Yeah, that's good. Jimbo on time.
Nice, good shit.
Keep rolling P2.
I'm in the right.
I'm wrapping right with you.
You're alone.
Yeah. Think of.
I'm gonna get your dice.
They're giving me down early.
Well, Florida Mutineers desperately trying to keep this one close. You can hear the comms just flying from them at the moment. It's an 8-point game, Ton, as we head into P5.
Yeah, back and forth. A couple of really good rotations out of Paris. Get the hell over towards P3 and then flip Florida Mutineers and find their way over towards P4. Weren't able to hold over the final 20, but the damage was maybe already done. It's a 10-point game. It's a very close game. Temp and Jimbo, though, making sure they keep control of fire as best as they can. They want to lock down these spawns for 30 seconds time when we head over towards P1. Have themselves a lead on top of that. Johnny's yet to find himself in a position where he can get going. For SMGs on this map, it's all about just putting yourself in that best spot to cause chaos. There's some long sight lines, and this is the kind of spot he needs to be in. 2 streak for him. More HP he gets out.
Well, they're just beating them back off the spawn here at the moment, and nobody from Florida has snuck through. You can even see Temp would have just double checked. Nobody had actually managed to make it, but now P1 is on the cusp of popping, and Paris are still in a good position for it.
They're in a really good spot. Two-Real and Awakening will answer back. A rotation win for the side of Paris to get most of the points that were offered, if you like, over towards P5. Gravity now just trying to lock down this door. You can do with an SMG over here as well, just to give him a hand. Temp on his way over to try and help out. Johnny around the outside, big gunfight win. Can he help inside the point as well? No, Two-Real will get the better of him this time. Good break from Florida.
Two-Real gonna fly out to this one as well, looking for the kills. Eventually will find it. Just take a nade, survives on 2 health, and yes, it will be Florida who have an opportunity to get some points back onto this one. Two-Real continuing the gun, looking for Johnny, and stays alive. And points here, flying in for Florida. The rotation will matter as these teams are both neck and neck.
Really good break by Florida there, I should say, considering where Paris were in that situation. But again, it's a rotation that's going to belong to the side of Paris. 20 and 12 out of Jimbo. Let's keep this up as best as he can. Johnny's starting to hit it up just a little bit more. This guy's not necessarily performing in the moment, but it does not matter. Rotation is in here now for Paris. Florida not in the best of spawns here either. So keep an eye on 50 seconds, Bryce, as we rotate over towards P4. Can Paris suck down some good time at P2, though?
Terrell's already been seen, and Gravity has that one locked here. Major Maniac, though, goes for that last chow. They're looking for him. Jimbo's going to find him as well. Another player comes flying in towards it. It's going to be Skies. I think he saw that gun barrel, and he did, but he's not going to finish it. And then somehow he's still not dead. Eventually, we'll find it. Jimbo on a 5 streak now. He's 23 and 12 ton.
Having a hell of a game. Not quite sure how he didn't find that kill a little bit earlier here, but as said, that rotation over towards the next hill is going to be really important. It's Paris who are here again. Feels like every rotation has belonged to them, but they haven't necessarily locked down as much time as they probably would have liked. Temp now trying to push through is going to get a bit unfortunate with those final few seconds. So go over towards the Mutineers. It's an 8-point game or so by the time we get over there, but 2 kills from Major at the right time there might help them out.
Tell you what's crazy is I feel like I'm always seeing Paris Legion get the rotation, but not able to hold it as much as they would like. And again, it happens. Paris Legion are first to this, but they have not got the dominant position now. This is a great opportunity for Florida Mutineers. They hold this down for time, and they will be ready to win this game.
Fantastic break from Mutineers once more. Some good time for them. Skies and Co trying their best to lock this one in. It's only really Temp in a position to do much. Gravity will get a good spawn up, though. Spawn's still in on the road for Paris. It was just a good initial couple of kills that come through from Mutineers that find that brick at the very beginning of this 60 seconds. Major Maniac Awakening the 2 real combining well as we make this rotation over towards P4 now. Mutineers are going to be in, I mean, as good of a lead as they have been all game long to try and force that map number 5.
Well, Train is next, and I know we always say this, but it's not the easiest one to actually hold and get an awful lot of time on, but Paris won exactly that. Now comes the pressure, 2 real. Just taking a little bit of a love kiss, but still good alive and still in a position to do something. The rest of Florida Mutineers are going around the back, but the kills are going towards the Paris Legion, and they get 3. Only player left alive is Major Maniac, who makes 2, but eventually goes down. No more time for Paris. They have to get on board, and they are trying to just slow this pressure down from Florida.
Really, really good time from Paris here. It's hard to make up much time on this one, but they've done such a good job so far. Awakening all around from behind. Jimbo needs to try and get some cover as best as he can. The rest of the team spawning up towards the back dock side. Jimbo will only find 1, eventually will fall. So now it's a fight out for Paris. Johnny hasn't had a good game here, but it is one of those maps that's a little bit more difficult for a sub with some of these sight lines, but they've just got to send them forward, just get them to put the pressure on to help the team out.
Well, this is where it becomes important. Jimbo is going to try and flip this. He's going to get into fire, looking for the root food for his team. Finds the first one. Going to have to still do an awful lot of more work if he wants to try and move these spawns along. But he is causing a problem for Florida. They will be looking for him. That may open it up for Paris.
The distraction technique is going to work. Jimbo will find another one. All of Mutineers have to turn around, Awakening just about in time. Spawn's still there for the side of Florida Mutineers as we head in towards P1 once again in 30 seconds time. Can Paris find a way through here? Could it be through gravity? Not going to happen this time. 2 real skies combining well. Have Mutineers caught fire at the right time here. Brycey, Johnny slipped the net.
He has. He's going to be looking for it as well. He needs his teammates to make some kills and get out of here. That is the difference. They found him. Awakening's going to call that one. Player coming off the respawn as well. It's going to be Skies. Johnny is desperately fighting for this. He knows he needs to put his team in a good position. He's flanked all the way around again. He finds Skies as well. Kills coming in from gravity. Skies going to try and get out of it. He knows he's going to go for it. Johnny gets it. But the spawns are still not here. But Paris are flying towards this hill. And it's going to be Awakening towards Ticket. Johnny trying to hold down platform with both teams. Putting the stoppers in. And Paris have broken through, but they do not have control, Ton.
Yeah, they don't have the numbers here. Big gunfight wins from Skies. They managed to find a way through a few of the Mutineers. Major Maniac posted up mid-map as well, just stopping them and on his own. 2 kills fall his way. Mutineers in a good spot.
An awakening on a 5-streak may have just put Paris out of this hard point. He did it. He was in ticket. He stopped all the pressure coming through. Johnny did everything he could, but now, since then, nothing for Paris. They've managed to get...
Johnny's in. Johnny's in.
Johnny gets two. Johnny gets two. He's managed just to stop this. This game will not end here. Major Maniac flies out and almost gets two himself, but the rush to P2 is now going over. All of Paris have to swing into this one. The game has not ended, and Florida are here first.
They are here first. Paris have to do it all again. Can Johnny find a route through once more? That's going to be Awakening first on the chopping block, but you've got to get inside the point of the SMG. Too real on the inside. He finds two. Florida Mutineers only a few away. Jimbo combines, though. There's two. You've got to get inside the point. Drop in now. Too real does it. The third kill comes on through. And Mutineers send us to a Mach 5.
Oh, that was like an unbelievable finish to the game. Oh, I don't even know how to break those last few rotations down. If you go back and watch the minimap, Awakening just stopped Paris from helping Johnny. He refused to let them get bodies towards P1, and that could have been the game over and done with. But it wasn't to be. It went to P2. Huge fights coming in from Florida. Jimbo almost, with the Cinderella story, finds two, but the third was just a kill too many. We're going to map number 5.
And I mean, from the side of the SMGs on the other side, some of the ones who have had the question marks around them, I'm talking about Too Real on Florida, Johnny on Paris, started to heat up towards the end, and they are the ones who make those plays for Paris to nearly get back into it, for Florida to go on to win it. Now we have a Desert Siege Search and Destroy to close things out as well. How on earth has this went the way it has done? If this is the way that Mutineers somehow make it a champ, somehow that extra 10 points, after what has been a back and forth series, I don't know what to tell you. If Paris can play a spoiler and stop them by that certain amount as well, it could be crazy. My goodness.
It certainly could. Well, this can only end one way. No matter what happens, map 5 is coming next between these two teams, Florida Mutineers and Paris. They've put on a show so far. Every player's having their time to shine, but all that doesn't matter. It's going to be the S&D that decides it, and we will find that out right after this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a minute.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can. And upgrade your game with a Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. It is time for our map number 5. And everything on the line here for Florida Mutineers as we head into this final one. Paris Legion looking to play spoiler. These games are coming down to the tiniest of margins, apart from the control, for the rest of it. An S&D ton, and interesting stats you're going to brought up there during the break.
Yeah, I mean, Ant kind of touched on the desk. Florida Mutineers will be terrified if it does get to a map number 5 over the CDL season. 7 times they've played Desert Siege. They are yet to win it. Paris Legion's record's not that much better, to be honest with you. 1-4 from them. But for Florida Mutineers, it will be a hell of a time to learn how to play Desert Siege Search and Destroy, because you're heading into a final map against Paris in what is a must-win series. They have to turn it on here. They have to find some sort of strategy to win a Desert Siege Search.
They certainly do. And do you know what I'm really enjoying about this game is all the things on social media I am seeing. I am seeing Røkkr fans. I am seeing New York fans. I'm seeing Guerrillas fans tweeting about Paris. They are invested in this game. A lot of the CDL is watching with bated breath. Florida Mutineers, this will put them into 9th position if they win it. Obviously, Røkkr have got to play still today. But there is so much at stake. There is so much on the line here. It will be one of the most devastating losses for Florida Mutineers if they lose this game at this stage. And one map sits between them and Oblivion potentially. It is unreal how we've got to this point.
Honestly, I'm bewildered that we have got here. We said that, I think, you know, we talked about at the top of the series, though. I mean, we knew that Florida definitely suffered since the change of Vivid going away from them, and it's a question that a lot of people will be asking. But I still think they'd have enough to beat Paris. I think everybody kind of thought the same, apart from Ali and Belly. But you would have thought that they would have still had enough. They have not. Bryce, whatever happens in this game, even if they win it, I do not see this team making it top 8. Not on this performance. I do not. Not a chance. Not on that performance so far. Not on their performances since the roster change. They need it. Look, they need to come out here and they get a win, whatever happens. But a nice, convincing, comfortable win would have given them some confidence. I think even if they win it here, yes, they will be happy, but they have went about it the wrong way. They really have. And well, if anything, though, they're going on about the 0-7 on. I don't know. It's still, whatever happens here, for the Florida Mutineers, yes, okay, a win is important, but I do not believe they can be happy with their performance.
Well, we're going to find out. We are going to find out, because it is going to be map number 5, Desert Siege. Technically, Florida Mutineers haven't found a win on this map, but hey, the CDL season means they'll probably win it right when they need to. On the other side of it, you can see there are no more smiles abound. It is fully locked in for both teams. Neither probably potentially happy this is going all the way. And I want to talk a little bit about that hard point while we wait for this S&D. Florida Mutineers were being heavily outslayed. It was only really Awakening that was kind of giving them a little bit of life moving forward. Eventually Tyrell kind of regained and got through it as well, but Paris Legion had most of those rotations. I'm sure we'll get the statistics from Carson after this game, but they had most of the rotations. They did not have most of the time. Paris just seemed to fail in a few key areas, and their holds weren't good either, and
yeah,
it's gonna be a little bit devastating for them, Ton.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you can allude back to map number 1. It was a similar scenario, but the other way around. It was Florida who were in those rotations but couldn't lock it in. So both these teams are not holding very well, but breaking well. It's a strange one. Of course, we have kind of seen it flipped a little bit on how it's come down to these maps, but a really good game from the side of Florida Mutineers to force this map number 5. Nearly got very scary. It looked like they were going to close it out on P1 there. They were in a comfortable position. Things got very uncomfortable as we eventually headed over towards P2. But still, I mean, Paris were there pretty much all the way through until that final couple of hills, really. Could have went one way or the other for Temp and the boys. They could have been staring down the barrel of only their 3rd online win was there. It was there for the taking.
I'm sorry, I'm losing a little fool at the moment because I've just seen one of the greatest comments I've ever seen in my life. Someone has called this the battle of the movable object and the stoppable force. And I'm just dying at the comparisons between these two. Obviously, bottom of the CDL standings, not having a great time, but the pressure and the eyes of the CDL are now watching. And whoever wins out of this, I'm not sure anybody's going to be particularly happy with either of these two teams. Florida, as you said, Tan, earlier, even winning this now, a lot of people aren't going to be happy, and they won't have high prospects going into the major. And that's going to be the big question. Can Florida make it? Can they get into the champs run? It doesn't end here in qualifiers. It doesn't end here in this game. They still have an opportunity at the major. But 6 other teams are fighting for it as well.
Yeah, it would be nice for them to get one. Honestly, I think everyone, and mostly New York, are looking at Paris here to try and pull out the win. I think, you know, if New York can then win their next series, put themselves tied up heading into the major, they've got such a good chance of getting out. Still a lot of Call of Duty to be played before we do get the champs. A lot of things left to be decided. Hey, look, we've only got, what, 2 or 3 teams locked in? Who knows at this rate? Who knows?
Yeah, I think Seattle are locked. As far as I know, I think they're pretty much locked. I think it would have to be. Yep. Someone said obviously it's not mathematically clinched. Something to do with like a perfect set of results could potentially put them low enough. Like all them losing the rest of the games, the teams winning the rest, and then like basically a perfect reversal, like the lowest team coming first and second, and so on and so forth. But it's basically like just not really going to happen, I don't think. And I haven't worked out all the maths of it, but yeah. The bubble has been interesting. It has brought just an incredible intensity to this final stage 4 and seeing what these teams can do.
100%. It's brought so many more different storylines that we haven't talked about throughout the year about these teams. Yeah, okay, if they're not going on to win these events, but you need to put yourself in a position to win champs. You can't win champs if you're not at champs. This is how the CDL points are standing, and this is why if you're a Subliners fan, at least anyway, you want to see you win for the Paris Legion here. Of course, put Paris on 30, they cannot make it through. But Subliners, it would still keep them within touch of Florida Mutineers. Røkkr are obviously still there as well, yet to have their series today up against Seattle. They need to see Seattle win that as well. A loss for Røkkr and a loss for the Florida Mutineers would be the perfect scenario for the side of Subliners, but let's see how it is going to play out. Those records we spoke of before, they're on your screens. 1-4 for Paris, 0-7 for the side of the Mutineers. They need to break that 7-loss streak if they want these crucial CDL points.
How has he got to this point? Just looking at the KD already, they should have been locked up. Also, little stat coming in, thanks to Carson. Big shout out to him. Paris actually won 7 of 11 rotations on that Berlin we did see. Got broken 4 of those 7, and that's why it ended up being the way it was, even with the slaying. But if they can finish it here, we'll find out. Paris going to be on the attack. We are down the cyber barrel with Temp. There's a rush already coming through, and it's going to be 2 straight down. It's 2 versus 2.
Straight away into it. Johnny cannot find anything. Tap body zone. Florida Mutineers find a round. Nicely done. Good start once again. It's a better start than when it does come down from the other search and destroy, but Temp with the opening pick. Doesn't result in anything, but it's going to be a crucial part if this Desert sieges those snipers. He's going to come out top.
Very quick round to start it off. Both teams have the same idea. Florida's just managed to get in a better position with it as well. Now, can Florida make this 2-0 and put themselves in a bit more of a comfortable position?
Just looking at some of the records here for Paris. Oh, sorry, for the side of Florida Mutineers. Only twice have they went to a round 11 on this map. Every other time it's been pretty comfortable victories. So overall, just hasn't been great for them. Now getting this bomb down today, though. Temp could do with a peek. Could do with finding something. Gravity will find Major Maniac. Can see Real get out. No, he cannot. Big kill from Temp.
Like, and he gets one back. And they've just got to try and hold this now. You can already see the players going every single direction they can find him. And I think Sky's been sitting there by Gravity. He's going to look for it as well. But Sky's wins the gunfight. Awakening finds another one. And Paris had the numbers, and they could have won this round, but it's now just Johnny left. 23 seconds. A 1 versus 1.
This will be a 2 versus 4 for the side of Florida Mutineers if they can pull it off. Johnny sees Awakening. Gunfight gonna start coming on through. He stuns him. Doesn't go for the challenge. Johnny's got to move forward. He's got to win it. He's not going to. Another one for the Florida Mutineers. Fantastic start to the search from them.
Paris need to not lose full here. They could have had that one. They had the numbers. They got the first blood. But 2-0 for Florida.
2v4, man. 2v4. There can be the moments when it comes down to it. You win those clutch situations, you put yourself in a much, much better spot. 2-0 up now. Paris Legion have it all to do. Same again.
It's fast, and this time it is locked in. Down to a 4 versus 4 bomb down. Look, he's going to see gravity, and he's going to get the kill. TJHaly finds that first blood, and now they're getting straight onto this site here, but it's nothing taken down. Awakening taking him down as well. Paris are just falling like dominoes, and Temp is the last alive. He's looking for a player, and down he goes. A 4v4, and not a drop of blood spilled by Florida. It's a 3-0.
Confidence has got to be there now for the side of Florida. 3 rounds off the bounce to get themselves in this better spot. Surely now. Well, Bryce, I mean, if you want to recall what we see in the second search and destroy, sorry, the second map, the first search and destroy, there's a 3-0 lead for the side of Paris. 6 rounds in a row from the side of Mutineers made it 6-3 to them.
Yeah, very good point. Awakening on a 5 streak, and every time they needed him, he stepped up, but Skies must have just missed him. That must have whizzed by Temp's ear. Temp backs up furiously. Looks like they might go for... Oh, he gets a hit marker. They're looking for him. That bomb is going to go down. Nade from Temp. Can it get too real? He gets the hit marker, and Johnny tries to get through. It's not going to happen. Awakening looking over it. Now you're going to come on a Temp. He's in trouble.
Needs this pick. Absolutely needs this pick. Gets a hit marker on a Major Maniac as well. Needs to find it.
Can't get it.
Maniac is in his life.
He won't give Temp the opportunity, and Temp can't really move. He's going to be flanked as well. Eventually, they're trying to get into this one. The trade's coming through, but it's TJHaly on the flank. Finds the first, finds the second. Jimbo in a 1 versus 1, and he gets it. Jimbo clutches with 1 health point remaining. A 3 streak for him, and Paris stop the bleed. They get a point on the board.
Oh, 1 HP. They just about get back into it. It could be that B-Day inspiration now for Paris to find themselves back in. Decimates Skies there. But still find themselves 3-1 down. It's been a lot of aggression over towards B so far, Bryce. Curious if some of these, well, either team are going to start adapting to it.
Well, let's find out. Paris finally finding something. I thought that was all over for them when TJHaly hit that flank. Looking for a war and A push now. Major Maniac may be the player that could be the difference. Something going through. That will give him a hit marker. He knows he's there.
All that utility wasted. And Major Maniac still alive and kicking. Gets the aggressive angle onto Jimbo as well. But it doesn't pay off. Jimbo will find the kill. 4 spree for him. A few more kills and things get dangerous. TJHaly gets a kill on the Temp. Gets away. Nicely done. 3 versus 3.
And Paris, I'm not sure where they're going, but a palace control now. Looking a little bit lost on this map. They're trying to figure out exactly where to apply this pressure, and a kill towards A means they might eventually commit to it, and that is going to be the bomb going down. They will not want to leave this one alone, and it's a big fight. Johnny's going to get taken down by TJHaly. The 2 versus 3. Paris have the bomb down, but here comes Florida.
Next gunfight is so crucial. You got to win it. If you're Paris, not going to happen. Gravity in the 1v3. had him so weak as well, but gets away 25 seconds.
He's up top as well. There's going to be 2 challenging coming through, and Florida will just have the numbers to make that work ton. Sky's going to go for the defuse, and Gravity stayed alive for as long as he could, but the pressure was always going to be on him. He always had to check the bomb. Florida go 4-1 up now in the search and destroy.
I'd be very curious to how weak 2Real was. Gravity put a couple of extra just through the box. Doesn't quite finish the job, and that's a very different scenario if he finds that kill, because Skies was not in a position to trade. Now, Major Maniac and the boys restore that 3-round lead in what is the most crucial, one of the most crucial games of their season. Paris stacking over towards AR. Florida gonna fall into the trap.
Well, they've gone straight for this Palace control. Haven't found anything yet, but they're looking to try and get a pick out of Paris here. 2Real checking every angle he can, being very, very careful not to get taken down in this position.
Jimbo's in a risky spot.
Comes the nade. Johnny flicks it over the top, puts 2Real weak, but nobody there to capitalize on it yet.
Jimbo, very risky spot. That could be huge. Finds the kill. And now it's going to be panic stations for the side of Mutineers. The behind enemy lines. Major Medic will find a kill. Jimbo backing up, but Florida Mutineers are already past.
Yeah, it's a little bit kind of messy on the mini-map, and Jimbo flies out again, gets another kill here for Paris. Still new reinforcements from his teammates. He's staying alive around this, stopping Florida from planting.
2Real towards the back is not looking towards the site right now. They think Jimbo got out maybe in around Palace, so what's the play call? Did he see him? Did he see him crossing? Mutineers are going to go.
They are going to commit to this. And the rest of Paris know it as well. They're coming over to check this. 2Real going to be on the bomb site. 10 ready for this as well. Paris in a good position already. The trade's coming through. Major Maniac after live, and Jimbo sees him. Jimbo takes him down. 3 kills that round for Jimbo. And it made Florida look a little bit lost on the map. It's only right that he got that last kill, Ton.
Honestly, I don't think either team realized how far up they were in a certain sense. Paris had pushed quite far up and kind of like ships in the night. Florida Mutineers had a lot more control than they really give them credit for, and all of a sudden they didn't know where they were. But they find the kills nonetheless. Maybe a little bit of a hesitation from the side of Florida. Now, Paris have found themselves a potential way back in. 4-2 now.
Comes the push. Paris going for Palace control. Jimbo might be going a little bit fast for this one. Trying to get in, he's already been tagged up. He's going to jump straight onto it regardless. Johnny actually gets the trade coming through. Awakening goes down. It's bold and beautiful from Paris in the end.
Yeah, control. Mutineers are on the back foot here as well. They haven't really got anybody outside of 2Real in a position to find anything yet. Skies will find the blood onto Johnny though to maybe open things up. Major Maniac trying to pick away Temp. Temp is a wise old fox. He'll stay away from that. 2Real finds one though. 3 versus 2.
Desperately trying to stay this one alive. Gravity finds one as well. And Temp trying to find it. He's not going to be able to. That's already being diffused. Oh! Gravity with a nade! The nade, and now he's going to wait the seconds he needs. He'll fly out in just a second. Double check the bomb.
Oh
the gunfight anyway. Absolutely slam dunk there on a Major Maniac. And Paris have got 3.
This is a hell of a gunfight to win as well. But the nade is what does it. You get Skies off it, and the Major Maniac, I mean, he needs to win the gunfight really, but besides the point, it was already done and dusted by the time Gravity wasted that time. The nade is sensational. Three in a row from him as well, Brycey. See if he can keep it up. See Skies on the outdoor there as well. Gonna have to back on down. A lot of aggression actually down Train's side. Can Paris be ready for this?
Well, that's the difference. Obviously, they've shown themselves towards the B side, and Paris may not have got that as well, but that's a huge first pick by Major Maniac. Johnny gonna try and get the nade into the right position for it, and that will not get a hit mark. He didn't take any damage from it. Bomb down. 3 versus 4. Fight towards the back. Jimbo already takes down 1. That's a second one now for Paris.
One towards the back could be the killer. What's Too Real doing? You need to stay alive.
The Major Maniac, they're trying to find him. He's trying to furiously backpedal. He's going to find Johnny, but he hasn't managed to get the kill down. They surely are going to swarm him now. Jimbo is looking for him. He's going to go through. Jimbo's going to try and get this one as well, and he wins the gunfight. He takes the gunfight. It's back to 4 versus 4. Florida in a great position. Get cut down, Ton.
I don't know what to think. There's so many times that you watch Too Real and you question the decision. I mean, I think sometimes it's easy to criticize when we obviously know where everybody's standing, but to me, that's just like one of those positions where just stay alive. It doesn't matter if you're sitting still, hold a position. It's in the middle of nowhere. And Paris punish him for it. 4-4.
Here comes the attack. 9 and 5 for Jimbo. He's going straight into B here. He's going to go straight for a plant. He might do. Sky's got the angle. A few little tickles. But it's not going to be enough. Jimbo alive. I say that. Jimbo will be going down because he's on 9 health and Awakening gets it. Time ticking. Can Paris hold this? They've not been great at it.
No, they haven't. Gravity holding down on the outside, needs to stay alive as long as possible. Temp is kind of watching the flank, but he could flank himself. Gravity is not going to be able to do much. Temp falls on the way around. It's a really nice retake from Mutineers. Legion just in that setup there. Temp a little bit too far away. I understand what he's watching, but if that is the case, you need your players who have just got that bomb down to be passive so that you can then help them out if the transition does not come from Mutineers over that side of the map.
Yeah, and they kind of got pushed on from every single angle. You got to say, I will give full credit to Florida there.
It's a good retake. Yeah.
Yeah, they fully picked Paris apart, and Temp obviously kind of poked his head up and decided to make the kill into Awakening, and he was playing a position that didn't really give cover to his teammates, but more was playing for that kind of that person diffusing. Unfortunately, nobody was, so he couldn't get 1 or 2. And now Florida, 1 round away from locking in 10 points. They're going for a fast B by the look of it. Major Maniac on the outside, not going to get picked.
Oh, I think Temp might have just given him a haircut, though. Just about missing. That's allowed Paris to get a little bit more control over towards Palace. What's the push here from Mutineers? Paris also ready for a B hit if it does come. Johnny getting aggressive.
They're looking for it. Florida are going for this rotation.
Did he see him? He did.
No, I think he did. He's looking for him as well, and he's going to get a few hit markers. Johnny's actually going to try and get this one as well. He does, gets the bomb to play, and he's out. I say out, he's into the lion's den.
Not able to try and stay alive there, but that bomb now down on the site. Information for Paris. Maybe not the best grenade from Jimbo. Nervy moments.
Awakening. Finds it as well.
That's absolutely huge. Skies finds Gravity. This is it.
10 for the 1 versus 3. Doesn't even get it. And they stay. Florida Mutineers do not get upset. They do not put 10 points into the bin. They have secured the win versus Paris. Unbelievable there at the end. Tighter than a lot of fans would have liked. But they get it. All is said and done. 3-2 is still a good enough score for 10 points in the CDL.
Job done for Florida Mutineers. But they did not make easy work of it. I think a lot of people would probably have admitted that it wasn't going to be a clean series, but a couple of very, very questionable moments here and there from the side of Mutineers makes it a lot more difficult than maybe it should have been. But Paris Legion, honestly, kind of threw it away themselves on that search and destroy. 3-0 up. And that would have been it closed out with that win under control after winning map number 1 as well. But it's not to be for Paris, as it so often has been the case throughout the year. The first woods are completely tied. Mutineers did more with it. 6-4. Close map number 4. Confident map number 1 from Paris. It was back and forth series, but ultimately the search and destroys make the difference. Florida Mutineers just that little bit stronger in that game mode. That's a first win on That's the Siege Price. There we go.
I said it keeps happening. They're 0-7, so they're probably going to win this, but If anything, it was not a clean win, and Florida probably not happy with how close that came. But it's not up to us to break down the entire series. That is going to go over to our wonderful desk.
Never doubt.
Right. You got to give it to us, though. It was that close, man. You got to admit, you thought it was going to happen, too, right?
I'll be honest with you, yeah, like it was very, very close between the two of them. But hey, winning is winning. Doesn't matter if it's by an inch or a mile.
Right, you know, and at the end of the day, it was the Florida Mutineers who walked away with 10 points, and it was Paris that walked away with the big L, fellas. Thank you so much for the commentary. Right here on the desk, Veli, Nameless, and also Ali. Ali, okay, we were excited at first. We saw some good things from both, good things, you know, I'm gonna say that subjectively, but still, that was actually a fun series to watch.
We saw Temp smile, dude. I was really happy for the man for a moment, but I will say this when it comes to Florida, that is a huge win. It should have been a more easy series for the likes of the Florida Mutineers, but should they have lost this and stayed tied out of the top 8 conversation with New York Subliners at 10 points behind, this was a big win for them to kind of wipe the brow off their foreheads and be like, okay, let's lock it in heading into Major 4.
Yeah, I believe they're only behind by 5 points now. But hey, let's talk about the points right now. Nameless, man, there we have it. Florida in the 9th spot.
That would have been the worst loss of the entire season. Florida would have been chalked, not only like points-wise, mentally, that would have been terrible. Now, like, potential they could still start in winner's bracket. Like, that was terrifying, super sloppy on both sides.
Yeah.
You know, for the Florida Mutineers, they are not happy about that win, but, you know, it needed to be done in that Game 5. They win a Desert Siege, they clutched up, the Search and Destroys look decent, but the respawns, my God, sloppiness.
Right, and Ali, you said there was actually a record broken here with Paris and Florida and the indications of this last map, but also on top of that, TJHaly really turned up in Search and Destroy.
No, really, and that's where he turned up in the series beforehand as well as him and Major Maniac. That added a lot to the Search and Destroy in this Florida Mutineers roster, which is where they were seriously struggling. And for me, when I said it was Røkkr break, it was either Paris Legion breaking their losing streak or it's Florida Mutineers beating their Desert Siege losing streak. So they were able to do that in a 6-4 fashion. So props to them. Their SD is getting better. But like Ant said, their respawn is struggling. You got 3-0'd by Paris Legion and Control, who is the 12th team in the league, last and a lot of those percentages, as well as you lost a hard point to them, 250 to 177. When I watched the Florida Mutineer team, congratulations on a big win, but I feel like there's not a lot of teamwork. And they said, you know, wait for us to get more practice together as a squad. Well, I feel like I'm still waiting a bit, but they still got one more match heading in the split.
And with not a lot of time left before we go into channels, I mean, Florida only has so many shots at making it there, right? But the thing is, yes, TJHaly turned up and Search and Destroy, but when it came to respawn, it was kind of like an eyesore from what we saw from this entire team, Nameless. And to be completely honest, man, in this next matchup, I really expect these players to really pick it up, man. There's no room for mistakes now.
Yeah, I mean, in the hardpoint, we saw it so many times. Like, you think about that Tuscan, when it got to Churchill, they literally were challenging one by one, each and every time. They weren't taking different angles. The rotations were sloppy, and like whenever they would really get a hold or a decent amount of time, it was a player popping just a massive 2-piece to clutch up for the squad. So for Florida, I mean, yeah, the teamwork just has not been there in terms of the hardpoint. Something they desperately need to work on. They're going up against the LA Thieves, who have been strong in the respawn game. So that's another bubble game as well. Like, if you lose that one, that makes it even tougher. If they're able to, like, they have a lot of opportunity there. They can win that, get themselves a spot in winner's bracket, and gain some distance on LA Thieves in terms of points.
Right, Ali, any last words you got to say about this series right here?
It was, I think, way more exciting than a lot of us were expecting it to be. I know you tweeted out that this is the best series of the season, but it truly actually was a treat to watch.
Right, so Nameless, what's next for Paris, man? 2 wins on the season, nothing else. This was a very close try, but they just didn't have it in them, man.
I mean, honestly, on a more positive note, since I'm kind of negative when it comes to Paris, like, what's next to them is to keep these vibes going. We saw way better plays out of them. The teamwork was better throughout the series. That control was beautiful. So to stay smiling, stay happy, and get through these next few games, or next game that they have, and try to make something special happen at the major, because it is their last tournament.
Yeah, and I would say this, when it comes to the young guy Johnny on this roster, I would say that it wasn't the best circumstances that you would have wanted joining the CDL, right?
He's made an impact.
But man, you know what though? I saw some great things from Johnny.
Him and Jimbo had a great series.
Yeah, I was yelling, I like this kid. Yeah, Jimbo picked it up as well. But for the last game of the season, hopefully, Paris pulls out with something as well. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the Scump play of the game where Florida were able to win it all and Search and Destroy in that last round. This was very intense.
It was very intense. It was the fact that Florida get blooded here as well, right? So it's a 3v4, and honestly, I feel like the control definitely should have been more in Paris's favor, but Florida Mutineers, they group up, they get this big kill on Jumbo top here. That's a lot of control on the map out of Big Wake, and then by then they get the bomb down, you know, clock is running, kills go their way. It was a good closeout from the likes of Florida Mutineers.
Yeah, it was a huge play by Awakening. Like, he just went in, no floors given, was like, I'm just hitting it up top and getting the kill. I mean, for the Florida Mutineers, like early on in that Desert Siege, I really liked the aggression that we were seeing, just take control of the site. Paris responded though later on with some adjustments, a big clutch. I mean, you got to talk about that Tom Gravity round, that nade. I wish we could see the replay of that nade because he gets the kill on the player coming from mid palace, and then we skipped off him, but he must have threw an absolute Kobe over top the train, gets the kill and clutches up in a 1v where he hasn't been that great in 1v1, so that's got to be a good feeling for him.
No, big time. All right, Ali. So we have a Paris game that went the distance. It was crazy. The first series of the day was Ness. We have an interview coming soon also, but when it came to all the players in the side, who really impressed you the most?
It's got to be Gravity winning 1v1. I mean, I feel like Gravity has really shown like what kind of player he is, even though he was put in an unfavorable situation with Paris Legion. I feel like when he was added, it still added a lot to their gameplay. Like, I feel like they slowly started closing the gaps between them and their teams. Of course, the mentality overall, it's hard to get on a team like that and just keep losing and still being able to put in all that effort to still have the mentality in some of these series to push all the way through to the end. But I feel like a lot of people in Paris, all the players on Paris, we have seen lights at the end of the tunnel for them. But Gravity has really been the one for me.
I just really hope that they capitalize off of a situation that they have. Like, Temp is playing, like, extremely well, right? And we really saw sparks coming from this team. Next game against,
Minnesota Røkkr.
Yeah, Minnesota. I was going to say LA Thieves, but that's Florida, right? Minnesota Røkkr. I really think that that could also be a winnable one. Minnesota Røkkr have been struggling as well online.
I'm not going to predict Paris to win any games. I don't think that that's winnable. So yeah, I mean, there's that. But yeah, they could definitely make something happen there. Jimbo and Johnny like just performed. They went off throughout the series. Still not managing to get a victory, so that's tough. But if they can continue that, then possibly.
Love to Jimbo as well. Ladies and gentlemen, show some love to your serotonin. Make sure that you get these tickets to Champs. It's gonna be August 4th through 7th at the Galen Center. Ali, have you ever attended a Champs at all?
I have. My first event, like kind of introduced into the Call of Duty world being into competitive, was at Champs, actually in Columbus, but we're heading to LA this time. I've also been there for an event. It is an incredible place, but make sure, again, you bring your sunscreen. World Gamers, we stay inside. We don't go out too much, so don't turn up red in the face unless your favorite team happens to be the Royal Ravens or Atlanta FaZe or LA Thieves.
Touch some grass. At least go to the beach while you're in LA, right?
Put some sand in this situation.
Also, it's time to whip out those phones, baby. You can sign up to the CDL newsletter, get a free gift farm calling card. All you gotta do is scan the QR code. It's simple. You enter your email. You'll also get a free code available in both Vanguard and Warzone. But check this out. You will also get premium CDL content and updates sent straight to your inbox. But ladies and gentlemen, we have one more series of the day. Bubble Talk is still here. Minnesota Røkkr on the outside looking in, and you know who they're facing off against? The Seattle Surge. It's going to be a great game. So the question is, can the Havok and the boys really answer back against a surging team, or are Seattle going to have their way with them? We'll find out on the other side of the break, and we'll see you soon.